Hi, my name is Mark White. This is my story. I grew up going to church. My mom and dad were always, they always took us to church. We were always raised to believe in God. When I was 6 years old, I remember at Sycamore Baptist Church, they brought a movie in for us to watch. It was called The Burning Hell. I'll never forget it. The things in there literally scared the hell out of me. I knew at that point right there, I didn't want to go to hell. So on the way home from church that night, I asked my dad, I said, Dad, how do I keep from going to hell? And my dad told me, and he led me in a sinner's prayer. So at 6 years old, I was saved. And I'm truly thankful, like I said, that has kept me out of a lot of things. Now, I experienced some things. When I was 18 years old, in Louisiana, 18 years old is plenty old enough to buy alcohol. So I tried it, and I tried to drink for day Louisiana Dry. I didn't really like it so much, but I thought it was cool. And so, at that point in my life, I kind of got away from God. And I was trying to be the cool guy. I was senior in high school. And, God was always tugging at my heart, though. God never gave up on me. He never quit drawing me to Him. So, whenever I turned 21, I kind of started giving up on alcohol. And I decided I wanted to join the military. So I went, and I had to lose some weight. I lost the weight I needed to. Well, when I went to take my physical for the Navy, I found out I had diabetes. That was a major, the military was on my plan, so I didn't know what else to do. But anyways, I found out, God had different plans for me. I got married when I was 25. After we got married, after we had our 2 kids, we moved to the coast in Pascagoula, Mississippi. And once again, I started drifting away from God. My wife and I at the time got divorced. I just, once again, like I said about drinking for day dry, I tried to drink Pascagoula Dry. I don't know why, I just kept turning back to drinking for some reason. So my kids started going to a church down there that was just right down the road from our house. And I wouldn't go with them. I would just send them to church like, so many people do. And one day they came home from church, I think it was a Wednesday night. And one of their teachers had told them, if your parents don't come to church with you, invite them to church. So they both came home that night, and they climbed up in my lap. And my little girl asked me, said, Daddy, why don't you go to church with us? And that right there that hit me like dropping a ton of bricks on me. It caused me to realize that, hey, I was going down the wrong road. So I started going to church on Sunday mornings, and it was great. Then they came to me again, climbed up in my lap again. Daddy, why don't you go to church with us on Sunday nights? And well, Daddy's got to get ready for work, and I got to do this and that and the other. And the whole time God was knocking at the door, saying, bet you're glad I wasn't too busy to send my son to die for you. So that weighed on my heart, so I started going Sunday morning, Sunday nights. Make a long story short, they got me Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, all because of my kids. In June of 2010, I started working at the fire department, Concordia Parish Fire District number 2. Fell in love with firefighting. At first, I didn't know if I wanted to do it, but I wound up doing it, and I fell in love with it. I did it for about 5 years, and on January the 11th of 2015, we got a call about a house fire, and me and my partner went in, and we were putting the fire out, and I was using the nozzle, and at one point in time, whenever I went to spray the water, I was on my knees, and it pushed me back. And when it pushed me back, I landed on my ankle, and it broke my ankle. And that was the last house fire I ever went into. That was the last time I've worked since then. In May of 2015, I met someone, fell in love, and we got married in August. It was really quick, but things were going great. You know, I mean, I was really close with God, and then in February of 2016, I found out that due to my accident and the fact that I had diabetes, that I had to get my leg amputated because I had developed an infection in it and it got into the bone. I didn't have any trouble with that. God brought me right through it. Everything was great. I mean, God carried me through that through Jesus and everything. I was great. I had no problems. Then, afterwards, things started getting tough for us financially. That caused me to change. It caused me to fall away from Jesus again, and once again, go back to drinking. Well, that ultimately led to another divorce in my life, which I didn't want. But after we split up, I knew what I needed to do. I knew that I needed to lay the alcohol down. I knew I needed to draw closer to God, to Jesus. And Jesus started working with me then. And I would go to a few different churches. April or May of 2017, I started coming to Cornerstone Church. My first day here, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the music service. I enjoyed Brother Danny's preaching. And Jesus just, worked on my heart then. I wasn't sure about Cornerstone Church at first, though, during the service. But Brother Danny came to me and shared a story with me that, something I did about 30 years ago had an impact on his life. And when he told me that, it was just like God spoke to me once again and said, "Son, I used you that many years ago. Now I want to use you again." And ever since then, I poured more and more of myself into serving Jesus and following his will for me in my life. I started coming to church regularly every Sunday, every Wednesday. And eventually Jesus worked on me about tithing. I finally started paying my tithes. Before then, I was broke. I couldn't have showed you $1. But, I would use the excuse, well, I can't afford to pay tithes. I can't do without the money that, I need that money. But now, since Jesus impressed it on my heart to pay tithes, I see where I really couldn't afford not to pay my tithes. I mean, I don't even miss it. It's like when I get my paycheck, it comes right off the top and I don't even miss it. Jesus impressed on my heart to just do more. He said to me, "I never gave up on you. You don't give up on me. You don't quit trying to serve me. You don't quit looking for my will in your life. Don't quit." And ever since then, I've tried to do more, and I've tried to do more. And the more I do, the more I find myself wanting to do. And I'm not saying that because I want to impress somebody. I'm saying that because that's how Jesus is working in my life. Because the more I do, the more I want to do, the more Jesus blesses me. I give God and Jesus all the glory for that, because I never would have thought I never even thought I'd be doing this right now, speaking to someone about, sharing my testimony